Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hold on one second while I adjust myself. Okay, so good morning. It is I think it's about 6:30 a.m. January 20th, 2023. So so lately I've been trying something different. Okay, so what can I say? The attacks to the head have decreased somewhat, but I'm pretty sure it's probably because they've reached a significant amount of noticeable damage to the brain that they can see in their scans. So I don't know, maybe they just are dialing back they're dialing back on the nose or whatever. They're dialing it back a little bit. But what they have been focusing on now is a lot of attention to my right kidney. Right kidney, same, amounts of frequencies, or like the same kind of like needle like penetrating frequency being going into like different chambers of the heart. What else? The feeling that gas-like feeling in the chest, that hasn't stopped though. Cause like I haven't quite really put my finger on how to explain what exactly is happening to the body, but from what I can gather is if you take a heat-powered infrared laser and you aim it at a particular, let's say, cell or organ or whatever, and the energy carried by that frequency, if it resonates with that cell or that tissue, it can basically split the molecules of that particular, it can split the molecules of those cells, probably releasing gas, and that's what gives us that feeling of like pressure, or like something like, I don't know how I can describe it. Sometimes is like when I get the feeling, when I get those attacks on the chest, what it feels like is someone just put a whoopee cushion filled with hot air and they placed it inside of my chest cavity, and then they just kept filling up. Now, with the understanding of chi and how to use your body's energy as a healing tool, I basically learned that I can use my chi to generate a magnetic energy through the hands, which actually pulls I guess the energy that is being stored inside of the body. So like I tell you before, if they're storing energy into your chest cavity, you can use your hands to pull it out. If they're storing energy in your knee to make your knee hurt, you can pull the energy out. It's not going to stop them from being able to put it in, but what you can do is manage how long you allow it to set in, because when you let it sit in, when you let the energy that they're storing in your body set into the body, that's when you start to really feel the pains build up. You gotta pull that excess energy out. This is why a lot of people talk about grounding, because grounding basically helps you regulate the amount of energy stored in your body. You regulate the amount of energy stored in your body, you can reduce the amount of stress pains, ailments, high blood pressure. You gotta regulate the energy that's in your body, right? Now, yeah, let's see that L train. Man, I was mad as hell I couldn't take the L train straight into work. Or at least straight into where I would probably catch the train. Anyway, so yeah. So what they've been doing is, ooh, look at that gap, that hole, that pothole. Anyway, yeah, I was not trying to mess with no shuttle buses this morning. Anyway, so what they're doing now is they're basically focusing a lot of energy on my right kidney. And I can feel the energy on my right kidney because, one, when I take my right hand and place it over where I feel the penetration up from the frequency, one, there's a considerable amount of heat generating in a spot that's probably no bigger than, let's say, I'd say it's no bigger than like 4 inches in diameter. No bigger than 4 inches in diameter. And it's kind of almost like, it's probably about the same size of a fully grown, human kidney. So there's that part. Then also there's the feeling that when I place my hand over where my right kidney would be, there's a feeling as if something is coming through my hand. Now, if you have been doing what I've been telling you all, is to study scalar energy. If you've been studying scalar energy and scalar interferometry, you would know that scalar energy basically can go through just about any material, because it's basically like, it's like a hidden energy potential within a frequency wave or something like that. It's like, because the way somebody drew it online is like, when you take a frequency wave and you draw the wave, right? There's another amount of frequency that's going straight through the wave. It's like a straight line that goes through the wave. It doesn't flow up and down with the wave, but it's a straight line of energy that goes through the wave. So when I place my hand on several parts of my body that, I would feel the frequency attach itself to, and there's numerous frequencies that could be on you at one time. What it would feel like is as if there's like little tiny, like some would say they feel like little explosions. I feel like what it feels like is it's as if someone took an air gun, right, and they filled it up with sand, but instead of the sand basically bouncing off of wherever they hit you at, let's say if they want to aim at your hand, and they take this air gun filled with sand and they shoot your hand, instead of it just hitting your hand and bouncing off, instead it actually goes through the hand. It literally feels like little sand particles going through the hand. I'm no physicist. I'm no, tech specialist, nothing. I'm just literally a concerned citizen about his human rights, constitutional rights, civil rights, and then all my rights being violated. All because somebody was mad because somebody couldn't keep their hands to himself. So what he wanted to do, he wanted to create a scene with some woman that he had up in his mama's house. And then she wanted to make a bigger scene, getting me and my company, my guests involved in their whole scene in the hallway. And then now all of a sudden, me not knowing how connected some people could be, he's gonna go ahead and try to tell a whole secret society that I'm out here trying to destroy people's livelihoods, or I'm out here taking pictures of people, or I'm out here basically snitching on people I don't even know. All because he couldn't keep his hands to himself. And then they also want to say, oh, he be talking about people. There's nothing, and anybody who ever known me knows I don't talk shit about nobody unless it either I'm meaning to talk shit about you because you're doing some stupid shit, or because maybe I'm saying something because, well, you're doing some stupid shit. And then you want somebody to feel bad for you because you got caught doing stupid shit. I don't know. But anyway, their whole thing is basically to have me ostracized, damn near assassinated, all because I have a moral standards. I have moral standards and a code of ethics, right? Now, what they're doing with this technology, it's already a given. It's already a given that the DOD definitely has their hands in all this. But it's not just in the United States. And many of you who are, watching from various countries, y'all know it's going on in your country too. Doesn't matter if you're in the UK, doesn't matter if you're in India, China, Japan, doesn't matter if you're in, hell, Israel. I've actually came in contact with some TIs out in Israel. Israel, one of the main places where, a lot of this neuroscience and neurotechnology being weaponized is coming out of, and especially where there's a lot of controversy over this spyware stuff going on. So, hey, it's no secret. It's just that people are too mixed up in the whole, people are just caught up in the matrix, really. Look at all these stores and shit. Look at all this electricity that's being used when you think about it. It's to constantly keep you wanting things, even in the dark of night, when you really just trying to get home. It's just to keep you really wanting to continue buying shit, right? And think about this technology. Think about social engineering in itself. We got to push you in the direction that basically serves us. And then who is the us? Because it damn sure ain't, the us is damn sure not people in poverty. It damn sure ain't that. So, I don't know. I'm glad that I actually grew out of my materialism, and living in New York City, look, it's definitely, that's an accomplishment. That's truly an accomplishment. If you can outgrow or not be fazed by materialism, capitalism, and hell, she call that shit gangism too. You are actually a very powerful person. If you can actually consciously escape all of the impulses to be a part of the society for which they build around you, then that makes you a very powerful person. But anyway, right now I'm not wearing a bunch of hardware on me. The only thing I have on me right now is my grounding piece, and I have that on my my lumbar area, because for whatever reason, and it's interesting now to think about it. I used to always think that I had a bad back, but now that I've actually come into realization that they're actually using the energy within our environments to basically deteriorate our health. Because you gotta think about it like this. The entire earth is encased in basically like a fucking digital prison of synthetic energy and frequencies, right? People don't realize that these satellites, Many of these satellites are all connected like one big network, and then as they're connected, they basically are creating it's like a digital, it's like a digital sphere or capsule or something over the earth, right? Anything that is basically within that digital sphere is basically susceptible to being able to being manipulated, right? Anything that produces an electromagnetic field that includes all living organisms as well can be scanned, uploaded, and even manipulated. But what they can also do is they can take scalar energy found within the environment, and they can use scalar energy to basically heal something, or they can use scalar energy to kill something or kill a part of something. So it amazes me because, you know, when I think about my learning experience in the health field, or at least sports medicine field, my short-lived educational experience, and when I think about just most things that you may come across when, you know, you go to the doctor's office or whatever, you never, not one time, ever really hear of Western medicine mention frequencies, right? Frequencies, resonances, things of that sort. You never hear them mention any of that. But then once you start learning about the electromagnetic warfare that's going on, and you know what, when I think about it, you know, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, the US was trying to make it seem like, oh, the Soviets are doing this, the Soviets are doing that. Here we are, 2023, and for God knows how many decades before 2023, it's not just, you know, the fallen Soviet Union or European countries. It's damn near every technologically advanced nation out this motherfucker that's basically perfecting their use of this weapon. Now, it would be one whole totally different thing if it was like, all right, take Havana Syndrome, for example. The way they spent it, right? The way they spent it back in 2016, they try to make it sound like, oh, Cuba was attacking CIA officials, right? Now, 2016 people, and I mean regular civilians, have been getting targeted well before 2016, right? Then Cuba, I guess Cuba basically found a way to say, what you mean it was us? It damn sure it wasn't us. The fuck are you talking about? Then all of a sudden they wanted to say, oh, it's the Russians. But I'm like, even that doesn't make sense, because people still have been targeted before that, before 2016. And then I'm like, and the US have been working on this technology for a long, long time, you know. And then when you actually hear or watch the videos of the briefings and the court hearings about the CIA, FBI, NSA, well, CIA and the FBI mingling together to carry out the MK Ultra experiments. It's like, come on now. We know that our Department of Defense, or at least members of the Department of Defense, carry out experiments, unconsented experiments, on US citizens probably all the fucking time. Sorry I'm cursing a lot, but I just feel like being very plain today. You know, and you know what? They're trying to make it seem like, oh, now they're going to try to take away your free speech. So if you mention anything against the government, they're going to be like, oh, you're about to go to prison. You were trying to incite a riot. Well, you could go through just about all my videos I don't incite anything. I don't condone violence. But what I especially do not condone, is killing and testing out weapons on innocent people, let alone giving civilians the ability who do not have any type of background checks done on them when they try to insist that someone should be added to a watch list. Because when you think about who's adding people to the watch list, look at the people who because most of these people are not patriots. They are not patriots. Most of these people are not patriots. I mean, let's be even more honest. Most people that join the DOD, they're not doing it because they're patriots. They're doing it for a job. They're doing it because they need money. They're doing it because, well, capitalism is basically killing their communities and killing what could be their natural way of living. So what they do what they feel like they have to in order to make money. Even if that means turning a blind eye to the fact that you know that you are working for someone who is willing to sacrifice a few million just so that they can maintain their dominance over the world. Now, all of these people that's basically helping get people on this list, most of them probably have been in jail before. And I'm not talking for fighting for people's rights and nothing like that. No. Most of these people have probably been in prison, and it wasn't because they was fighting for somebody's rights or anything like that. Most of them are basically doing all this shit for revenge. Most of them are probably doing it because they feel like, I don't know. I don't even know. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to y'all. I'm glad I got this dollar. They done saved this late route for me. It's a 5 to 7 route, and I just finished my 5 to 7 route. So then they gonna have me come and get the late one so I could do another one, but at least it's close. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Look at all this damn water.